So before I get started, I want to clear some things up that I said in the last weekly rot report. I made a joke about the new Charli XCX music sounding like Lou Reed. It's like one step above Lou Reed. Unbeknownst to me, that's exactly what she set out to do. I posted my video, and the day after, I get this video recommended to me, and it's all about Charli's evolution between the brat era to the new stuff that she's coming out with now. And the creator's name is Ali XCX. And I go, this is a super fan. I have to see what she has to say about this. And like 3 minutes into the video, she puts up this TikTok that Charli XCX made in July of 2025. And in this video, she's talking about how she went on stage with Claro. She's like, maybe I'll have real guitar and strings in my album. She ends the TikTok by saying,
Lou Reed era, maybe. I don't know, just saying.
Lou Reed era incoming. And I rewound the video like 4 times. I'm like, there's no way. No way she said Lou Reed. And the album's called Music, Fashion, Film. And she has 3 people on the cover to represent each one. For film, she has Martin Scorsese on it. For fashion, she has Marc Jacobs. Who does she have for music? John Cale. John Cale from The Velvet Underground. Who else is from The Velvet Underground? Lou Reed. So I owe Charli an apology. Sorry, Charli. You popped off. And that's why I have to do a deep dive every time I want to talk about something. Because otherwise I look like an ignoramus. Why are you going to listen to me if I don't know what I'm talking about? But I do know what I'm talking about, you know? I'm watching this Ali XCX video, which is great. It's a great video. If you have any interest in Charli, you should watch this video. But I'm sitting there, I'm watching this video, and I'm like, oh my god. I'm seething. I'm like, I have to release a statement now. I have to retract some statements and issue an apology. Because I don't know what I'm talking about. My credibility is in the toilet now. 25 views is nothing. Dry bagging. Are you dry bagging for views now? New terminology that I learned from gorlworld. Gorlworld I've also been trying to quit for like a year now. If you do not know what gorlworld is, don't look into it. Especially not in 2026. Gorlworld is not what it used to be. You totally talk about in the toilet. And the audience officially has too much influence on the girls. Way too much influence. That's why it's not as good as it used to be. And everything is a live stream, and the chat is all like riling them up, and it goes on for 5 hours, and it's all just repetitive and screaming at the audience. Quirkyloverosee could have been the new queen of gorlworld. The audience, crowd interference. They all got demonetized, and Amber was too lazy to get her monetization back, so she team up with Keemstar. No. And now I don't have my mindless entertainment to fall asleep to. I realize that most of my time spent doom scrolling is trying to find something to fall asleep to now. I had my gorlworld content. I would fall asleep to my gorlworld, and before that I had Squeaks. Squeaks was my Super Mario 64 speedrunner that I used to watch.
If I don't hit Lakitu and Bomb, I'm showing pants. Can I get a pog you?
I found him, he had 70 viewers, and I was one of them. And the chat was so funny, and you could read the chat. Now he's blown up, and his chat goes way too fast, and he's a variety streamer. I miss the OG chat, and I miss Mario 64. But I wish him nothing but the best. He seems like a really funny guy. Now I'm looking for new shit to watch, to fall asleep to. I will finally settle on something, and then an ad will come on. And I have to pick up the phone to skip the ad. And while I'm have the phone in my hand anyway, I will look for something better to watch in the recommendations. So like I could read before bed. I could watch something good. But also like I would watch any movie. I would watch any movie before bed. But I feel guilty watching something good without Kevin. So I could watch anything with subtitles without Kevin. Kevin doesn't like to read subtitles. I don't want to read before bed. I need to turn my brain and my eyes off, really. My brain hurts, my eyes hurt, my hands hurt at the end of the day. So I need something super mindless. So now I'm thinking of maybe watching the classics, watching classic films. Yeah, I asked Kevin, I was like, would you mind if I watched like classic films? Would you mind if I watched classic films by myself before bed? And he's like, no, that's a good choice. You could do that. Because really, I go to bed earlier than Kevin. I'm an early to bed, early to rise. I'm one of those people, all my best ideas come to me as soon as I, like, even before I gain consciousness in the morning. Right before I wake up, all my stuff is... I hear that a lot of musicians say that. Sometimes they say that they dream about songs and they have to get up and get like at least a basic idea of the song down. I don't dream about anything, but everything comes to me as soon as I wake up, so I gotta hit it. And that's why sometimes I come on camera looking like I just woke up. Because I did. Today, it's a little bit later, but that's something I've been looking at a lot is artists and creative people, their routines. And I want to talk about this book. This is Daily Rituals. And it's interesting to see, like, who's a morning person, who's a night person, like, who can go out after, like, if I'm doing something creative, that's it. I can't go out and be social after. I have to go out and be social after this. This is gonna be tough. David Lynch has famously said that he ate the same thing every day.
I'm eating for lunch tomatoes, tuna fish, feta cheese, and olive oil.
And it, like, to get rid of any kind of friction for any decision making, eat the same thing every day. I read Patricia Highsmith. She ate cereal, bacon, and eggs was like the main diet, and booze. Semi-related to also looking at daily routines. I watched a movie called Peter Hujar's Day. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I clicked on it because I knew it was something that Kevin wouldn't give a crap about. And it was an hour and 16 minutes long, and Rebecca Hall is in it. And I would watch Rebecca Hall read the dictionary. I love Rebecca Hall. Rebecca Hall is in this movie called Resurrection, which it's a little bit crazy. It was like borderline too wacky, but like I think it's a great movie, and I want to talk about it on the channel. So if you want to check it out, if you can find it by means, it's a Mubi original, but Tim Roth is in it. Which, by the way, since when is he Tim Roth? Wasn't he always Timothy Roth? Like, I feel like that's a Mandela effect, right? Tim Roth. He's in Funny Games and what's the other one? Not Reservoir Dogs. Reservoir Dogs. Oh. Peter Hujar's Day. So I go into it not knowing what the hell it is. And Peter Hujar is a photographer. In recent history and pop culture, he is the one who did the photograph that is used for A Little Life. I've never read it, but I've seen the cover like a million times. That's who Peter Hujar is. And Linda Rosenkrantz is who Rebecca Hall plays. And she was doing this project where she would ask her friends what they did the day before. Ask them to document everything that they went through the day before. This project was supposed to be like a tape-based project. She would record them on tape. And she didn't go through with the project. She didn't see it through. And the tape was lost. But in 2019, they found the transcript. Linda Rosenkrantz released a book, and then came the movie adaptation. Now, I went into this not knowing anything, didn't know who any of these people are. Now, the main thing Peter Hujar talks about in this movie is that the day before, he photographed Allen Ginsberg. And he mentions a lot of other authors. Susan Sontag is mentioned. He mentions Fran Lebowitz. I'm like Googling the names while while I'm watching it. It was a little bit hard to get into because I didn't really recognize anybody. It's a little bit artsy fartsy. It's a little bit boring. One of my favorite reviews of it on Letterboxd said something like, "Watching this movie is like waiting for your mom to get off the phone." So that's kind of like what this movie is like. And you kind of space out, or like you're looking up something on your phone, and then one of them will say something, and you're like, "Wait a minute, what?" And then you rewind, and you'll be like, "This is good gossip. This is really good gossip." But the movie was shot on 35 millimeter. It's in 4:3 aspect ratio, and it looks beautiful, and the acting is phenomenal. Ben Whishaw, he plays Peter Hujar. I don't know anything about him, but I know that Rebecca Hall is English, and she does this. I have the authority to say she does a great New York accent. And it's like this like kind of throaty. I don't know how I have no idea how she did it. But there's a scene Peter's talking about going to pick up Chinese food. This is like how, like, minute details. He picks up Chinese food, and he's talking about the guy who picked up his order before him. And he goes, and his order came out to $3.45. And Rebecca Hall goes, "For chicken chow mein?" And that's all I've been thinking about all week, is that in the mid-70s, that chicken chow mein being $3.45 was a crazy, crazy amount. He picked up a liter Coke, and it was 65 cents. And now I have, what's the book called? The Wonderful Life That Almost Was, A Life of Peter Hujar and Paul Thek. And I have Talk by Linda Rosenkrantz on the way. Look into it for next time. It's your homework. I talked about going to the beach. I read Shame by Annie Ernaux. It's short. I probably could have done it in one sitting. I did it 2 days on the beach. Because, of course, I sunscreen in my eyes. And it's almost similar to Peter Hujar's Day. That it's a little bit boring. It's a little bit artsy. It's still so good. I don't know how to explain it. And kind of like a conversation with a friend, or overhearing a conversation that you maybe shouldn't hear. I almost don't want to tell you what it's really about. I mean, it says it on the back of the book. I think you should go into it blind. If you're like open-minded and you don't mind a little bit, like, don't go into it thinking it's going to be like thrilling. But she does a lot of setting the scene. Something happens to her when she's 12 years old in 1952. And there's her life before what happened and her life after it. And how this event brought shame to her life. Shame to her relatively peaceful existence prior. And it's a lot of describing the town that she grew up in, and describing like what people wore, what she wore, the convent school that she went to when she was a kid. Religion plays a big role. And she talks about this vacation that she went on with her dad after the event, and how it really, for the most part, it's kind of mundane, kind of boring, but she will have a paragraph that's just like beautifully written, and it brings you back in, like Peter Hujar giving up some good gossip on Allen Ginsberg. And the final paragraph of the book, I read it like 4 times. I'm like, did I read this right? Not that it was like if you read it and it's like, it's not too crazy. I'm not like that much of a prude, but like I read it a bunch. It just like caught me off guard. I was like the blinking eye meme. What else do I have on here? Why is everyone reading The Count of Monte Cristo? I watched the was it Guy? I'm so sick of knowing the names of things. If you're watching this and you're young, and you make fun of your mom for getting the titles of things and song lyrics wrong, cut it out, because it will happen to you. You won't know the names of things, and you're not going to know song titles and song lyrics anymore. Ask me how I know. Guy holding tangible objects video. He talked about this tweet that said, like, why does everyone think that reading The Count of Monte Cristo is impressive? And they compared it to a telenovela. Like, just because there's a bunch of episodes of a telenovela doesn't mean that it's a good show. But they're going into like the slop. This book is slop. I am so sick of hearing slop. Even Annie Ernaux's dad said that mashed potatoes were pig slop. Mark my words, slop will be the Oxford Dictionary word of the year for 2026. Not that everything isn't slop, because it is. I'm just sick of hearing it. Maybe I'll listen to the audiobook for The Count of Monte Cristo to fall asleep to. Even though I talked about how much I hate audiobooks and have a hard time finding them. Because I have misophonia. I have misophonia so bad that the word misophonia gives me misophonia. I got the audiobook for Psycho-Cybernetics from Libby, and my phone told me that it was ready while I was on the beach. And not that that's mindless. My algorithm is stuck in half girl world, half grind culture hell. So that's what I got. It sounded boring, so I thought maybe I can fall asleep to it. And I'm hoping that, like, do you know that episode of Dexter's Laboratory where he falls asleep to the French lessons so he can ace the French test? And he gets stuck on omelette du fromage. And he goes to school and all he can say is omelette du fromage. And all the girls are like, say it again, Dexter. Kevin does that to me sometimes. When I say something and my accent is really, like, highlighted. If I say something and my accent is just, like, ripping. Reservoir Dogs. Kevin will say that to me. A couple of weeks ago, I made shrimp tacos on the Blackstone, and we went to the grocery store to pick up everything, and we went to the aisle with the tortillas, and I said to him, do you want to do small soft corn tortillas? And he went, say it again, Dexter.